Good morning. How's it going?
Great.
Welcome. There's 200 people in this room, 200 plus people. Who here is involved in research? Let's do a quick survey. A lot of folks here. Who is with a utility? Don't be shy, that's pretty good. A manufacturer? And I guess marketing? What? No one wants to admit that? Okay.
Program.
And programs. Who did I miss? I feel like the big three were everyone could raise. Who did not raise your hand? Who doesn't know what you do? What, you don't know what you do?
I know what I do.
Tell us, Chris.
I am a researcher advocate.
A researcher advocate, yes.
A vendor of communication solutions.
Defender? Did you say defender? I'm for that. Who else? Yes.
Regulator.
A regulator. Oh, this is exciting. Yes.
Implementer.
Say it one more time. I heard atheist. Sorry, what? Did you hear what he said?
Implementer.
Program administrator. Okay, great. Yes. A contractor. Hey, you're in the wrong room. Please get out. Thank you. Thanks for the chance to be here. I am also an imposter. What do I know about hot water? I am by training a mechanical engineer, but I work for an environmental energy and water efficiency nonprofit based in Atlanta called Southface. And my organization is 40 plus years. I've been there 24 years. The first thing I like to get off the table is that we are fuel neutral. Okay, so everybody can love me. It's all right. And really, I guess from that perspective, we want to see hot water get made and get distributed in a safe way and in an efficient way. So that's kind of, I thought I'd push that out there. Most of my approach, I get to do a lot of our training is on kind of a house as a system, a buildings or systems approach. So I'm going to bring that perspective, very different from these guys, although I work with these folks and I greatly appreciate the research. I like to think that part of my job is to take good research and get it out into the real world. And I think that that's something that is often missing. And I work with Lauren a lot on energy codes and things like that. Most of what I've learned about hot water over the years, I've learned from two people that might even be in this room. One is Larry Aker. Larry, are you in the room?
He wasn't able to make it.
He cannot come?
Yeah.
He's getting hair treatment or something. So I was going to really get him without one. Sorry. Bad. And Gary Klein. Gary is here. Thank you so much. And, really, yeah. Just kind of bring it into the world. So, in a lot of my education, just to kind of give you some more perspective on me, I teach people on sort of the stick, which is energy codes, but also the carrots, which are beyond code programs, which there's quite a few. Earthcraft is a regional green building program that was started in Atlanta. It's in about half a dozen states. I was heavily involved with that. And also do some work I mentioned in the commercial world. Here's my connection to hot water. I live in a house and I use hot water. There you go. When we bought our 1920 Craftsman bungalow, we had a standard atmospheric gas water heater and a louvered closet. And one of the first things I did is I made that into a combustion closet with high-low vents. And we have a lot of existing homes that we need to fix from a combustion safety standpoint. So I want to throw that out on you. Probably was about 10 years ago, coinciding with a very brief window that the state of Georgia had a renewable energy tax credit. My gas water heater died, and I said, it's the solar gods telling me to put solar thermal on my house. So I got to install that, and if you ever want to see a magic trick, I want you to try to put a 26-inch diameter Ream Solar Aid, there's a plug, tank in a 24-inch doorway. So think about that, and I'll tell you the trick later on. And more recently, that feeds a gas tankless unit, which so it's kind of feeding it warmer water, and that seems to make my wife happy. So that's the key. The ultimate goal is that she has a warm shower, and that because we used to fight over when the element could be turned on and off, because I'm squeezing kilowatt hours every chance I can. I've recently put let's see, other things we did. I have a conditioned crawl space now. It used to be vented. I insulated all the hot water lines. That actually alone, according to Gary, makes a big difference, and I saw that in action. We put 1 gallon shower heads on, and it changed my world. 1 GPM shower heads. It's amazing, and I know I'm immediately everyone's going to think I'm a freak, but I love it. I actually love it. And then we put solar PV on our roof about 2 years ago, and today it's interesting. I was talking to Carlos, and I said when I started, we used to talk about the world like this: efficiency, 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 solar thermal PV. So PV was over here, number 5 on the list. Where is PV going today? The thumb is moving. It's rapidly catching up to this figure right here. So I think we have to acknowledge that the affordability of PV, particularly in the region of the Southeast, is incredible. So I'm very excited to hear more about what you're both working on. Besides residential, I also work, in the light commercial world. We helped to develop some guidelines for Beyond Code program called Earthcraft Light Commercial, which has some really neat stuff in it. We also have done a lot of work with existing, I'll call it small commercial buildings, kind of 50,000 square feet and under, of which there are many, many buildings like this out in the world. And many times hot water is sort of a weird afterthought. So I can't wait to share some of those comments maybe a little later. Very much about distribution, and again, I credit Gary with sort of opening our eyes on that. One thing we saw in a lot of light commercial, we saw more dangerous combustion safety issues in fire stations than anywhere else. And it was sort of, you're like, really? And it was sad because the folks that you would think maybe would know better actually are in these horrible facilities and it wasn't just a one-off, we saw this multiple times. So definitely opportunities with efficiency and water savings opportunities. One of the more interesting commercial things that we ran into was we had been specifying whenever we saw a remote sort of hand washing station or low hot water consumption was way over here, and the source of hot water was 11 miles away or something. Gary can tell you how long it would never get hot water, and so what we started specifying was we put a instantaneous tankless electric right there. It was easy. But then we also shot ourselves in the foot because we put a low flow aerator on the fixture. So now you don't have enough flow to activate the element. So we finally kind of solved that. But this is our solution. We found 2-gallon tanks, the little 2-gallon tanks, and that seemed to work well. So these are, I share this because maybe you knew all this, but as we try to apply your technology to the real world, these are some of the things that we have run into. I think I've rambled on enough. Lauren, I'm ready for your questions. Thank you so much for the chance to be here. And again, I'm an outsider position looking in, but I enjoy this discussion. And I love graphs and your data, so it's exciting.